Everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today, we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'm going to interject my financial opinions as we go. And if you need any help, check out finding-value.com. And we still have a special going on right now. Turkey is the special. If you want to get in, it'll be open for a few more days, and that's about it. And let's dive in here and see what's going on today. So we've got the DXY. The DXY is heading lower in terms of relative value. As this declines, generally speaking, things that are priced not in dollars or priced in dollars goes up. So other currencies go up, commodities priced in dollars go up, et cetera, et cetera. It's also a tailwind behind precious metals as the dollar climbs. The 2-year yield also seeing a pretty rapid decline today. Makes me think that we are going to fall in the 2-year yield. We have a bearish engulfing today, where that candlestick engulfs the one before it, signaling further downside in yields. That is going to be terrific for precious metals. Absolutely terrific. The 10-year yield also falling today. We do have a falling wedge to some degree here. Are we going to fall or are we going to continue higher? That I don't know, but at least we're getting more information. As the shorter end of the curve falls, if it were to fall, we could be getting a slowdown in the market. And that will be a good tailwind behind gold, silver, and other precious metals. The 30-year yield also heading a little bit lower today. Are we going to break to the downside, which has a lot of support right underneath us? I mean, it fall a little bit, but we have good support at about 4.4%. Or you can do like a little false breakout and a move higher, or are we actually going to fall back lower? And that is what I don't know. I don't know if anyone knows that. It's weird how they have to release a lot of bonds, and we're getting all this buying pressure in bonds. Perhaps they're already doing quantitative easing or buying of bonds. TYX TNX ratio moving higher today, up 1.91%, supporting higher gold and silver prices. Bond prices also moving up, kind of defying logic here. We had a squeeze up, a breakdown, and now we're moving higher again. Moving to the upside, we were up 1.67% in bonds on the 20-year. Gold up $11 an ounce, up 0.6%. It still looks good to me that we are going to go higher in gold price, especially if we get weaker yields on the short end. The long end remains anchored and we see a move lower in the 10-year and 2-year. I think that will be a tailwind for gold and silver. Silver up quite a bit today, 1.5%, 35 cents. We're right smack against that resistance line, 24.69. We want to break through this. Are we going to come back and circle back, or are we going to punch through immediately? I don't know, but it is looking very good in my opinion. The equities are also looking very good in silver, which makes me think we're going to punch through soon. Platinum down a little bit, down $12 an ounce. Still looks good, still above support. And palladium down a little bit as well, but still above this long-term support. And I think this is a false breakout. I think we're going to eventually work our way higher. So we're probably squeeze up here or something like that. Create some sort of pattern, flag pattern, pennant formation. Doesn't really matter what it is. I think it will slowly grind higher. XAU to gold ratio outperforming today, up 1%. So gold and silver mining companies outperforming gold by 1%. But we are still underneath this trend line. Thing to note here is this could be a double bottom. And we could be bouncing from this double bottom, breaking through all those downtrend lines and resistance lines that are above us. Basically giving us a once every decade or twice every decade opportunity. So is that the case? I tend to think so. Obviously, I don't have the justification from technical analysis, but a lot of the equities are squeezing up. Gold is sitting right at about all-time highs almost. We're getting there. And silver looks like it's ready to break a downtrend line. So I would be inclined to think, and I'm looking for a potential break to the upside. So that's what I'm seeing in the charts here. I'm very bullish on gold and silver, um, the physical metals, and I'm getting more and more bullish on the miners as hopefully we start breaking some of these resistance levels here. CRB index down a little bit. I think crude oil, a little bit of weakness in crude oil. Still in a falling wedge at this time, and we're right at support. That is on top of another breakout of this guy here. So falling wedge, those generally like to break to the upside. CRB versus the S&P 500 down a little bit still, and we're at the corner of a wedge pattern. Makes me think that the markets almost are expecting increased interest rates in commodities to outperform. But if they do yield curve control, I'm not sure how that would impact all of these charts here. Everything would still be good in terms of commodities on a longer term, but in the short term, it could impact some of these ratio charts. And we'll monitor it. So GDX was up 1.5%, right above support, breaking through resistance. That's where we are there. Same with GDXJ. I just didn't draw this horizontal line on this, but we do have a trend line that's coming up right above us. You break that trend line. That is the first step for a big move. And I think it will do that if we get lower yields on the short end. SILJ also breaking above resistance today. That's looking a lot better. And we're now above that resistance, which turns into support. Above us, we still need to get out of this pattern here to get out of here. But it looks like it's going to try to do that. And we'll see if we are successful at breaking out above this kind of falling wedge there. Crude oil down 0.7%. But again, guys, we're sitting on top of patterns. Everything looks good from a longer term perspective. A little bit of weakness in the short term. But again, we've got larger buying pressure here, smaller selling pressure. It looks to me like we're trying to bottom. And I think we'll get an eventual bottom at some point here over the next week or two or three or whatever it takes. And we'll start to move on up. TTF gas down a little bit, but we're still within this pattern, still above support. Still looking fantastic for a move higher eventually. Watch the weather. See if it gets cold. Natural gas down 2.3%. We are coming a little bit back below this trend line here. But we do have support underneath us. We are getting to that heavy support zone down here, which is basically what we're going to use. Then we'll see where we go from there. Again, this is heavily weather dependent, and I think it still looks good. We will be coming into liquefied natural gas terminals. The more terminals are coming on end of 2024. XOP, yeah, you know me, down about 0.9%. We're still below this big neckline here. I know the government's Federal Reserve, they do not want oil to go higher. They don't want this to break out because this will be inflationary. But I think with time, we are going to end up higher anyway because of the underinvestment in a lot of these different commodity sectors and because of the large pattern that it's creating right now. OIH down 0.6%, still within the pattern here, still right up against resistance, and we'll see if we punch through over the next few days or weeks. Physical Uranium Trust just moving sideways, still remains highly bullish. Nothing really wrong there. URA also just moving sideways, remains above support. Everything looks A-okay and good to go higher. URNM and URNJ also possess the same traits. No big selling pressure days, just trading sideways. The path of least resistance is still to the upside until we break this support level down here. CAN down 1.9%. We've broken the downtrend here in the short term, and we're getting small selling pressure. It makes me think we want to go higher after this little pullback is done. That little return move, retest move of breaking the trend line. COPX down 1.5%. We're right on support, and everything looks fine. We're just on support, moving sideways. We haven't broken through this channel really yet, and a lot of the diversified mining companies look just great. Lithium doing a retest move today still looks good. This would be the spot I'd be looking at it to potentially accumulate if you're a bull in lithium. REMX also doing a retest move, much like lithium. There's your trend line that we've broken and coming back and doing the return move. And this is generally a good spot to be looking from a support level. S&P 500 down barely. It still looks good to go higher. There's no reversal candlestick. Just a small down day today. Same with the NASDAQ. Small down day still looks good to continue higher from this broken out pattern. KRE wheezing up. You like my awesome little drawing there that I drew a little while back? I can clean it up a little bit. But we're trying to break this little, just a continuation pattern. Draw it kind of like this. And there's that. It's a little falling wedge. Hopefully we can break to the upside and get moving. We've broken the downtrend line here to the upside, and we've got monster green candlesticks and the small selling pressure days, which is that stair-step pattern to the upside. I think we've got more upside. KRE. Emerging markets still looking good. We've doing a little retest back to support, and I think we will head higher, especially if we get weaker yields, weaker dollar. XHB doing the same thing. It's just a move sideways. It's just a little flag pattern. So I think we will continue higher with these flag patterns here. So path of least resistance is higher, in my opinion. MU also heading a little bit lower today, down 1%. But again, it's trying to bottom here. That's why we see the big pop higher, small sell off. Big pop higher, small sell off. So I think we're going to head higher in the short term. Copper down a little bit, but I think this is just one big consolidation pattern. Big green candlesticks consolidate right at resistance, and I think we'll eventually work our way higher. Iron ore down a little bit. It's just there's no selling pressure, no reversal candlestick. Still looks good to go higher for iron ore. So I am thinking this is going to go to the upside. Projected move $216. We're at 130, almost a double from where we are at today. Aluminum down a little bit, still stuck between resistance and support, just bouncing sideways. Baltic Dry Index, last update was up 13%, and I think this is going higher. Projected move somewhere up around 4,694, over a double from where we're at today. Newcastle Coal, I still think this looks good. We're coming back to support. We've got bullish engulfing here and here. That looks like to me that we are bottoming and are ready to go higher for coal. And there we are. Bigger picture view, there's your retest move. Bitcoin down a little bit today, and we're still within the pattern. Ethereum also down a little bit, but still above support, still above this pattern here. You could say maybe it is a potential return move. And we've got lots of support underneath it. So I am inclined to think that we are going to go higher after this is done, this return move. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Hopefully you're having a good day. Give me a thumb up, subscribe to the channel. Most everything looks pretty good. And I would say, watch silver here. Silver's going to be one to watch. We could see a big move to the upside in silver. Looks like oil's trying to bottom out. Nat gas, it's flailing. It's trying to get a base here. So energy, I would say a little bit on the weaker side of oil and nat gas. Uranium still looks fantastic. Copper still looks good. Everything looks good to go on up for the most part. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Catch you later. Finding value.